Caitlyn Jenner was ripped by a trans activist for being a quote fucking fraud at a recent event. A transgender activist and editor, Ashlee Marie Preston, on Sunday was at the Trans Chorus event in LA and said to Caitlyn, approached Caitlyn with the person filming it right behind her, saying it's really fucked up that you continue to support somebody that does everything with the military that's erasing our fucking community and you support it. And then said, as long as we continue to be the ones that are most impacted by the choices that you make, it's not okay. We are complicit. Taking her money and doing all that, it makes us complicit. She said to the person who was organizing the event, it goes against the mission. How are we gonna fight anyone if she's giving money to the people that are destroying us? This, of course, talking about how Caitlyn Jenner is the person folks think about most in the world when it comes to a trans celebrity that they can name off the top of their head, at the same time as being politically conservative in pretty much everything else. And then recently when she went golfing, grabbed a Make America Great Again hat before heading out the door, even though saying publicly that she no longer supported Trump. So what do we think? Thoughts, 5 words or less.
Where's the lie?
That's what you get.
Truth shall set you free.
Caitlyn Jenner isn't the standard bearer, right? Yeah. The Caitlyn Jenner is the most identifiable person in the trans community right now, but is she in the trans community? Really?
No.
Oh, Scott, so many things go through my mind. Sorry, you guys, when I think about Caitlyn Jenner, because I remember when Caitlyn came to the forefront with the whole her whole transition back in 2015, I think it was. And people were saying, "Wow, Caitlyn's this hero," all these things, and a lot of stuff didn't sit well with me because I think when you have privilege and you have money and you have resources that could soften the blow, if you will, it does a disservice to people who don't have that. I mean, if you go down to Highland and Santa Monica Boulevard, you can see trans people that are homeless.
That's where our office was.
Yeah, that are struggling, that are heroes as well, that aren't getting the limelight. And the public's going to interpret what you tell them. Caitlyn has a spotlight on her, and if you're wearing a MAGA hat or you're endorsing Trump, all we can do is see that for what it is, right? And so I think Caitlyn really hasn't come to the forefront and been transparent with how she truly feels about things, and really hasn't told people, hey, I'm not really for Trump. So until you do that, you're always gonna have people having this opinion.
I think she also kind of enjoys being Fox News's sort of token trans person, because I've seen her go on Tucker Carlson before and speak on behalf of supporting the trans community, but also being like, I'm trans, but also I'm cool though. Don't worry about my rights or anything, but and I think that she enjoys that, and you can't have it both ways. Right. And so she needs to have a certain level of accountability when it comes to either you are supporting and standing with your community and realizing that the trans community is absolutely targeted and just is marginalized and their rights are being infringed upon by the current administration. You're gonna speak out to that, and it's not gonna be popular on Fox News, or or you just kind of be their talking point and talk about your new book and go on there and just be sort of very tepid in your critique of the administration. You can't do both, and so she's gonna get called out as long as she sort of stays silent. She is complicit in the abuse that we see of the Trump administration to the trans community. It's not okay, and if she wants to stop, it's pretty easy, but she's not willing to put herself out there and do it.
I feel like she always has this sort of shocked expression when these things happen. Like she almost expects everybody to love her and welcome her with open arms. But in this situation, when this person was ranting at her, she was just kind of like, you don't know me. She said, you don't know me. And it's like, I don't know. I would expect. Should I expect more from her? I don't know.
There's a timer that goes off in my head so Caitlyn Jenner did the I Am Caitlyn and the big reveal interview with Diane Sawyer. And in that moment, I did see a lot of refreshing moments of Caitlyn Jenner saying, I don't know what to do. I'm trying to do this. I am ignorant of a lot of what goes into this because I'm experiencing this for the first time. And there were certain things that at least seemed universal to someone who would have to go through this kind of transition, albeit publicly. But the timer starts running. It was a refreshing ignorance that she had where it's like, wow, I don't know, you don't know, none of us know what to do.
Now we can all educate ourselves.
But it is then the onus, as you say, goes right on to Caitlyn to make sure that you learn everything you need to learn. And after a certain point, then it's more folks like Ashlee Marie Preston has to hold Caitlyn accountable for learning all the stuff that you said you wanted to learn in the first place.
And like not making a change. And I think that you hear this understandable frustration that I remember even seeing on an episode of Caitlyn's show, where she's on this bus with a bunch of other trans folk, and they're all talking about why it's so hard for trans people to earn a living, and why they need these programs. And Caitlyn just doesn't really understand. She's like, well, I can get a job. Like, just put yourself out there and work hard and get a job.
Win the decathlon in 1978.
And you see this, win the decathlon and be a star athlete. Get your face on the Wheaties box. It's not hard.
There's so many boxes of Wheaties that get made every day. Why just get on one of them?
And you just see this whole bus of trans women just being like, oh God, please just try and listen and learn. Just for a minute, just listen and learn about these things. You're like, I just don't see any difference. Come on.
You're right, Grace. And also when you watched IMK, you saw Candace Kane and the friends, I think it was Luann or Luella was another.
I think so, yeah.
Who were like, in their conversation, in their confessionals, like Caitlyn is just so detached from what's really going on. You have beautiful, wonderful, powerful, outstanding transgender advocates like Janet Mock, who went on Chelsea, the Chelsea show, and was like, we don't think of Caitlyn Jenner as a representative of the community. And Brett, you are so on the money about the timer.
Twice today. That's twice.
Because people, you can't be, and I'm sorry for saying this, but you can't play stupid for long, especially when you're someone as smart as Caitlyn Jenner is. Yeah, initially fine. This is a whole new arena for you, but 2 years later or 3 years into it, you have to step up to the plate. I think that's why E canceled the show, because they wanted a true, authentic tale of what was gonna happen, and they wanted to arrive at a location, or arrive at a destination that Caitlyn just wasn't willing to get to.
Interesting.
Coupled with being shrouded in the publicity of being Kardashian adjacent, it just seems so contrived, and there's that word again, so contrived and not just authentic, to say the least. So
and just really quick, let's take a look at a photo of what happened at the VMAs. It's other trans news. These are trans service members in the wake of the trans service member ban announced by the Trump administration a while ago on Twitter, of all places, and then better articulated, though still quite ambiguous, this Friday in the middle of a giant news dump under a hurricane. But these are all trans service members, and many celebrities showed up to take photos with them to support their continued service. It's not clear whether people who are trans and in the military already are going to continue to be able to serve. It seems like they have to take ability tests, which clearly they've already passed because they're active service members anyway. But that's just something to keep in mind. We give our support to them, I think, pretty unequivocally on the show, and you should too.